Hello princesses! Today I'm going to be talking about the Clio Kill Cover Pro Artist Liquid Highlighter and Shading. I picked these up during my last KBD order because I really wanted to try a liquid contour. I have tried like a cream contour before as well as powder contours and bronzers, but never one that was like concealer sort of texture. And I don't know who I saw use these ones, but I'm pretty sure I saw someone use them and they looked really good on their skin. So that was kind of in my mind when I picked these up. The reason that I wanted to try a liquid concealer style contour this time was because I have quite a lot of scarring on my cheeks, so you can still see quite a lot of it. And I find that with a lot of like cream contours or powder contours, the more I blend, the less actual coverage happens. So I'll put on my foundation and everything like that and my concealer, and I'll get rid of all of the acne scars, and then I'll use bronzer and then it's back again. So what was the point? So I thought that this may be able to help with that aspect. These products come housed in a standard small liquid tube with a doe foot applicator. This makes the products really easy to apply, especially around smaller areas like the nose. There are two shades in this collection, a highlighter and a shading shade, of course. Both shades come with a white blending sponge. This works best when it's wet, but personally I find that it doesn't really blend that well and it tends to just soak up the product, so I don't really recommend them. So for the highlight, the product description says, natural pink base with glowing liquid type highlighter for a bright looking face contour. Silicone gel ingredient forms network for oil, pearl, silky strobing makeup look. Contains 50% moisture ingredients with plant ingredients for hydrated skin. This highlight comes in a light pink shade. It blends out really easily and it looks really subtle on my skin. I do like how this highlighter looks on my skin. However, since this is a liquid, I apply it before my translucent powder. After I apply my translucent powder, I can barely see this highlight. And for the liquid shading, the product description says, natural colour liquid type to shade and contour for a slim face look. Moisture plant oil and fine polymer combined for non-powdery, clean fit. Moisture ingredients and rosehip seed extract with more than 42% to soothe skin with moisture. This shading shade is a nice medium brown. It is a little more warm toned than I would like and almost looks like a caramel colour. It looks extremely scary to me when I first apply it to my skin, but it actually blends out well. It almost blends out a little bit too well, I think, and I think it almost looks a little bit too subtle sometimes. This can be laid up easily, and I really love that it doesn't take away the coverage of my foundation either. Surprisingly, I like the shading shade, but I don't actually like the highlight shade this much. I think the highlight shade is absolutely beautiful, especially if you don't powder your skin. I think that it looks a little bit too subtle on my skin, and because I apply it before I apply my powder, after I apply my translucent powder for the day, I can't really see the highlight anymore at all. I did try, of course, just not putting powder on it, but because it's a liquid type, I found that my hair stuck to it because it is in the sort of place where my hair would be sticking to it. I have a lot of hair, and as you can imagine, when like some of the tendrils stick to your face, it can look kind of gross. So it wasn't really an option for me to use the highlight without a powder, and it also doesn't work well if you put it on top of a powder because a lot of the time liquid products do not work well over powder products. Sometimes they do, but for this, I don't think it does. It is, however, a product that I would recommend to any princesses who are looking for a really subtle glow and don't usually powder their skin, because I think this is going to be definitely up your alley. It's just not suited to me personally. This shading shade though, I think does work really well for my skin, and of course I am wearing it today. It's a pretty subtle colour, and I would consider it more like a bronzing shade for me rather than a contouring shade because it's so warm toned. But it is important to note also that this only comes in one colour. This is it. So sadly, this is only going to be useful for princesses who are on the lighter side of the spectrum. Like, I know girls who have this as a skin tone colour. Like, it's not a shading shade for everybody. So apart from the limited shade selection, I do think that these are good products. I will definitely be using the shading one, and then I probably will be passing on the highlighter because it's just not that suitable for my skin. But overall, I think that these are both great products. However, for the blending puffs that come with them, They're probably not products I would recommend personally because they do kind of just soak up the product, and even when they're wet they're still really firm. So those are not my favourite, but I do recommend applying these with cushion puffs. So overall the shading shade is a winner for me, but the highlight is not. Thank you guys so much for watching this review, and I will see you next time. Bye!